Hi, and welcome back to Science with Miss Wardell. Here we're on page 380, and again we're still talking about those water vapors and the states of water. Here it talks about changing states. So now we're talking about water that changes a state, and for example, liquid water can change to ice, which is a solid, and to water vapor, which is a gas. What causes water to change a state? That's a good question. Well, find sentences that contrast two things and draw a line under each sentence. So let's think about this and read on page 380. Water changes state when it is heated or cooled. Ooh. What causes water to change a state? Guys, I would highlight that because here it says water changes states when it is heated or cool. That corresponds with my question is, what causes water to change states? Well, when it is heated or cooled. These things go together. They go together. Okay. When enough heat is added to ice, it becomes liquid water. This change of state is called melting. And the reverse of melting is freezing. Now hang on. So when ice becomes liquid, this is a change of state that's called melting. And then to contrast it, the reverse melting is freezing. So here, this is a contrast, right? So these are two things, and we could say that they're contrasting, can't we? Yeah. When liquid water gains enough heat, it evaporates, to become water vapor. Evaporation is the change of state from a liquid to a gas. When water vapor loses enough heat, it changes back to liquid water. The change of state from gas to liquid is called condensation. Condensation and evaporation are opposite processes. So that's kind of like the reverse of melting is freezing, right? So we could also underline this because they go together. Condensation and evaporation. For water vapor to condense, it needs something to condense on. Even the drops of water in clouds have condensed on tiny pieces of dust. So now let's look over here. It says finding evaporation and condensation. Look at the photos on these pages and label the photos as either condensation or evaporation. So, here we're going to decide, is this condensation or evaporation? The wet footprints shown here will change to water vapor as they are heated by the sun. Okay, so now they're going to change. The wet footprints shown here will change to water vapor as they are heated by the sun. Okay, so when liquid water gains enough heat, so they need heat, it's evaporated to become water vapor. And it is changing to water vapor. So here we're talking about changing to water vapor, and it's being heated up. So because this one is being heated and it gets enough heat, so this would become evaporation. This would be evaporation because we're gaining heat and it's changing to water vapor. So this would be evaporation. Here it says when water vapor in the air touches the cold cup, it loses heat. So now we're talking about losing heat. And forms droplets of liquid water. So now we've got droplets again. So here's droplets. So evaporation, when we read it, it didn't talk about losing heat. It talked about gaining heat. So condensation, now here I look at it and it says water vapor loses heat and changes back to a liquid form. Changing the state of the liquid is called condensation, right? For water vapor to condense, it needs something to condense on, and even the drops of water. So here it has those droplets of water. So because it's losing heat, this is condensation. So for the last one, I'm going to let you tell me what this one is. So you tell me what's going on here on the plant, okay? Tell me, is this condensation or is it evaporation? All right, guys, see you next time. Goodbye.